Good day, everyone. You're welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you're watching from at the time. I welcome you to the Journaling for Beginners course, which is all you need to begin your journaling journey. I'll be taking you on this. We'll be having 5 modules in all, and today we'll be looking at our first module. Let's get right into it. So my name is Rebecca Hayola and I'm your journal coach. I'll be taking you on this journey. And as a journal coach, I teach people how to use journaling as a tool for all-round personal development. There's so much you can do with your journal, and we are going to be unraveling that as we get into the course. Now, let's get into the definition of journaling. I found while searching, this is one of the best definition I found online for journaling. It captures everything I believe journaling means to me as an individual. So let's get right into it. Journaling is the act of expressing your deepest thoughts and feelings by putting words to your inner life and then putting these words on paper. Journaling is a mental, emotional, and spiritual exercise that helps you build strong emotional muscles to deal with life's difficulties and uncertainties. In identifying your negative thoughts and beliefs, and also cultivating positive, healing ones in their place. Journaling helps you discover your sense of purpose and meaning in life, as well as your relationship to a higher power. Now, that looks like quite a lot, but let's take it one after the other. Journaling is the art of expressing your deepest thoughts and feelings by putting words to your inner life and then putting these words on paper. So sometimes people don't have authentic relationship, which you should have, but sometimes maybe this relationships are not available, and you need to express your deepest thoughts and your feelings. Journaling helps you to document what you are thinking about, what you are worried about, what you are brooding on at the moment, what is holding your thoughts captive. You are able to put these things down, what you are feeling. You're able to express your feelings in on paper. One of the things they teach us about emotions and feelings is limits, the ability to name our emotions. So when you journal, you're able to pinpoint, oh, I'm feeling so glad, or I'm feeling so happy today, or I'm feeling so grateful, I'm feeling so thankful. Or maybe you are just like, oh, I don't feel too great, or I feel sad, or I feel anxious, or I feel cheated. When you express your thoughts on your journal, you are able to decipher what your feelings are at that point in time. So let's move to the next one, which says journaling is a mental, emotional, and spiritual exercise that helps you build strong emotional muscles to deal with life's difficulties and uncertainties. So there are times that things are going on in your life and it looks like you don't understand what is going on. When you journal, the first one says mental, you are able to think critically of what that particular challenge or situation is all about. You are able to draw out the meaning you are taking from that scenario. You are able to, cultivate what you are setting your heart upon. Are you going to be worried, or are you going to choose to stay hopeful even in the midst of that particular life difficulty? It's also emotional because it helps you manage your emotions. Probably you're going through a tough time, probably you just lost a loved one, or maybe you lost a job, or something just going on at that time that's not really palatable to you. It helps you to manage how you are feeling because you're able to express yourself. Some people make the mistake of just keeping everything, they keep everything in. They be like, I'm a strong person, I'm a strong woman, I'm a strong guy. Guys don't cry, guys don't express emotions. I mean, people say all those kind of things and throw those words around. But journaling it helps you to manage your outlook, how you are feeling about this thing. You're able to speak to yourself. You're able to write to yourself that, Rebecca, even though you are going through these at this time, you would come out of it. You will become, you are growing better, becoming wiser even through the situations. It's also a spiritual exercise. This is one of my best parts of journaling. you know During those seasons when it feels like life difficulties and uncertainties are so overwhelming, and I really can't do much praying, or I feel like I really just can't find the coherency, the peace prayers to God now, and I start to write, I start to scribble, start from maybe, dear God, today I don't know what's going on, I don't understand what I'm going through, but I'll just out all my paper, and that's a form of prayer. So it's also a spiritual exercise, and it helps us build strong emotional muscles. So journaling also helps us in identifying our negative thoughts and beliefs and cultivating positive ones. Yeah, please. So at times this is using journaling for development. That should be like 2 3 years, that should be like 3 years ago now. So I realized there were a lot of systems, a lot of taught, a lot of trauma, adverse childhood effects and all of that were affecting me at that present time. So I started to journal. I would just write down the things I could remember about those particular situations, the meaning I derived from them, how what the belief I took of that situation, and then I said, this is not so great. Oh, this is affecting my spiritual growth. This is affecting how I relate to people. This is affecting how I approach. I've seen people, uh, probably you've seen people being betrayed over and over again, and you're just like, man, no one can be trusted. So when you do that time, you will identify that, oh, this is where my trust issues. I've seen people being betrayed. I've seen, friends betraying their friends. Maybe you've watched a lot, because sometimes even the movies we watch do a lot in conditioning us. You've watched a lot of series that depicts, how a spouse is always cheating on the spouse, or how a friend stabbed their friend in the back and took their jobs, or how, a lot of these things, and you've just built this mindset that says you can't really trust anybody. So you're able to identify those thoughts. Then you will now decide, okay, this is it that is really my life at the time. What positive healing ones can I use to replace them? So when you journal, you identify your negative thought patterns, and you are able to replace them with positive and healing ones. So journaling also helps you discover your sense of purpose and meaning in life. Recently, I was reading through my journals from far back as 2019, I think, and up until recent time, and I could see that even the things I'm still, writing as goals in 2023, there's those things has been in my mind all along as ideas, as thoughts that maybe there was just a day I was just writing and I just wrote about them, not even knowing that some of those things I will be doing them today. So when you journal, when you take time to sit with yourself, you ask yourself candid questions. What do I really want to do? What has the Lord spoken to me about? What are my gifts? What are my talents? And all of that. You are able to discover your own sense of purpose. You're able to discover your own person. You can listen to yourself. You recognize your own voice out of every other voices in all around the world. Also, it helps us as in our relationship to a higher power. Journaling helps you cultivate your intimacy with the Holy Spirit. It helps you talk to God. It helps you put down your lessons and all of that. We'll get into more details when we get into why we should journal. I'm so much excited already. So let's move on quickly. We're going to be looking at some quotes that I got off the internet, and I really really love this quote. The first one is from Joan Didion. It says, "I write entirely to find out what I am thinking, what I'm looking at, what I see, what it means, what I want, and what I fear." That just encapsulates a lot of things. You write to find out what you are thinking, because at times we think we are thinking, but we're actually not thinking things through. We are just living every day. You wake up this morning, you go about it, you have a job, you go to your place of work, you come back home, you cook lunch, you eat lunch, you chat with some friends, you say a few prayers, you read some few verses in your Bible if you're a believer, and you go to bed. The next day you're awake, you say some few prayers in the morning. And that's we are not really paying attention to the things that are going on in our minds. So when you write, you find out what you were thinking about. You find out the ideas on your mind. You are able to, when you were done, you're able to look at it like, wow, this idea was in my mind. You're able to know, you're able to look at what you see and what it means to you. Like, okay, if this is what I'm thinking, what do I really want to do with it? You're able to see what you want and you're able to see what you fear. Yes, journaling helps you see those things you actually fear. It helps you, look at your fear in the face. So also, Martina Navratilova says keeping a journal of what's going on in your life, it's a good way to help you distill what's important and whatnot. So the new year just started and it's January 2nd. Many people have, introspected, reflected, and all of that. So you've taken out, I believe you should have done that, but if you've not, if there's still a ample time for you to do that, you've been able to see what works and what didn't work. You're able to, I believe you learned from lessons from last year. I believe, okay, I would like to continue to use this, or I can't continue to do this. So if you keep track, if you journal and you write, maybe every other day, every other week, every other month, what you've learned, what is working, what is not working, you're able to keep in focus what is truly important. Each day will be better than the last day, because you are constantly picking what's important today and what's not important to me. So Christine Baldwin says journal writing is a voyage to the interior, and we can see this beautiful woman just sitting with a pen and all of that. I love the cozy environment. So journal writing is a voyage to the interior. Journal helps you to know yourself. It helps you to befriend your soul. It helps you to befriend your own voice. Because at times, the world is now, I don't know the word to use at the moment. There are a lot of voices out there, pastors, coaches, teachers, and all of that. You're constantly learning. Even on a WhatsApp status, you're just scrolling and reading what everyone is writing. But are you listening to yourself? Do you know what is within you? Are you aware of the ideas, of the innovations, of the creativity, of the joy, of the pains that are embedded in your soul that you've not had time to listen to? Journal helps you to listen to your own voice. It helps you to listen to your soul. It helps you to take care of your own self. And you know that yes, you can differentiate my own voice, no, and this is not mine. So Robin Sharma is one of my, I love his teachings. Writing in a journal reminds you of your goals and of your learning in life. It offers a place where you can hold a deliberate, thoughtful conversation with yourself. This is one of my best ways of journaling. So, it reminds me of my goals when I read from my journal. Okay, this is what these are the things I want to do. These are what I'm learning at the moment, maybe through my courses, through everyday life, through everyday relationships, and it helped me to hold deliberate conversation. Look at what is actually going on. What are you going to do? What did you learn from the situation? And are you going to continue to live with this new knowledge that you now have? So the four major things that journaling entails: it's a window for emotions, like we said earlier. It helps us to also, know the meanings we've associated with some things. At times, when you ask your siblings about a particular story, you would see that what you took from that story, the way you will tell the story, is different from the way your sibling will tell that story, because we all took different meaning from that particular story. Journaling also entails clarity. When you keep writing, you come to a point that where you know for sure that okay, this is it, this is what I want, this is what I've been looking for. It also brings you self-awareness, because now you are listening to yourself, you are asking yourself questions, and you are seeking for the answers right from deep within yourself. So I hope I believe you these as I hope with this I've been able to introduce to you what journaling is really about, and we would move forward in our module 2, looking at, and when we get to module 2, you will know what we are looking at. Have a blessed time and thank you for joining me on this journey. Bye for now.